Hello everyone, welcome back to Royalty Soaps and the very first video in our Scarborough Fair collection. So as many of you already know, I love fantasy inspired things. I love going to the Scarborough Fair Renaissance Festival every single year. And so this entire collection is inspired by all things medieval and whimsical and fairy tales and cosplaying as fairies. So for this particular month, I whipped up a little miniature story in which you are the main character, and every single video we will unveil a new chapter of the story. It is a short story, so it won't take up a lot of time, but we will be introducing all of the characters the soaps are inspired by in each individual chapter. And so without further ado, here is chapter 1 in our Scarborough Fair story. Chapter 1. You are a poor stable hand whose father has fallen ill. The village doctor says the only cure is crushed petals of the magic opal flower, a rare specimen that would be nearly impossible to find. You love your father more than anything, and so, with nothing but a map and a little courage, you leave without delay to find the flower. After traveling for nearly a week, a small village called Scarborough appears over a hill. There you find a quaint flower shop owned by two fairy sisters, Flora and Fauna. The sisters warmly welcome you and you stand in amazement, gazing at the beauty of the flowers on display. You ask the fairies if they know where any magical opal flowers grow, explaining further your father's illness and how time is precious. Indeed, we know of such a place, says Flora. Fauna finishes her sister's sentence, but it only grows deep in the forest where it is guarded by a fierce dragon, more terrible than you can imagine. Out of all the soaps this month, this one is the one I am the most excited to make. It's the one inspired by my sisters. The Flora and Fauna characters are very much inspired by all the things we like. So let's go ahead and blend. Now this soap is very springy. It's obviously inspired by a flower shop, floral arrangements, and maybe even dried florals that you would find at a Renaissance fair. There are lots of different items in Scarborough Fair that would fit into this category. There's lots of different shops that kind of like to play off of this concept. The name escapes me right now, but one of my favorite shops sells all of these beautiful dried flower hair garlands, and they are so cute. They have them for babies and children, and it's definitely one of my favorite areas of the fair. So that's kind of where I drew inspiration for this, besides, of course, my sisters that love all things whimsical and magical. Emmy did such an incredible job with the character design. I really am just so impressed with her. Okay, so let's go ahead and mix up all of our colors. For the base, we're going to add in some titanium dioxide. Then we have some true yellow. This is from TKB Trading, and a little bit of titanium dioxide into that container as well. Then we have some green Vibrance Mica. This is from Nurture Soap. We're just going to put all that in there. We have some Grape Ape. This is from Mad Micas. All right, add a little titanium dioxide into that one as well. And finally, some Cosmic Carolyn, my favorite pink in the whole wide world, and some titanium dioxide. Woo, that took a long time. And before I add in our fragrance oil, I am going to go ahead and blend up these colors to make sure they look close to what I want. These are perfect. You can see they're still very vibrant, but that white really helps kind of anchor the color. It's very, very springy. It really reminds me of the tulips I have blooming in my driveway entry right now. Just gonna wipe down the edges here, make sure everything is incorporated. Oh, the thickness is perfect. Perfect. And now I'm going to add my fragrance oil. So today I'm using Berry Blossom from Brambleberry. This is part of their Sweetheart collection and it is ravishing. Now my genuine hope is that this fragrance slows down the process and doesn't speed it up. However, it is a mix of fruity and floral, and because of the floral notes, I really doubt that's gonna happen. Still, fingers crossed for me. Let's just start by mixing it into one of our containers by hand. If I've never worked with a fragrance oil before and I don't know how it's going to perform, I always opt for hand blending. Wow, it actually seems to be doing really awesome. There's no curdling, there's no ricing, there's no separation. Of course, my green here is starting to turn that icky color that Green Vibrance always turns before saponification, but we know better, don't we, folks? Don't we? It's gonna be beautiful tomorrow. So I'm really pleased with how this is working. This was my favorite fragrance from the collection that they sent me, but I will tell you that entire collection, the Sweetheart collection from Brambleberry, I can easily recommend every single fragrance in that collection. I actually use the Camellia Sugar fragrance in the Homestead collection because it was just so good. All right, we'll blend it into this last container, and yay, it is actually slowing things down. This is one of my new favorites for sure. I'll be using this in the future. Really taking my time here to make sure I'm getting all the corners, all the edges, making sure that I have an evenness in color. And now we can start pouring into our molds. I'm going to begin by pouring in almost all of my white base here. This is a hanger swirl, so it will have a lot of dimension and depth to it, but it's good to start off with a very light colored base, in my opinion. It just sets the stage and lets all the other colors really pop. Gorgeous. All right, let's start with our purple here, pouring from up high. Now, I like to do a drop swirl before I do my hanger swirl because I feel like it gives the hanger a little more time to work and really separates out those colors. I just feel like that works best, but it's all up to personal preference. Some people really like to do something a little more and do an in the pot swirl and then do a hanger swirl, and that would look really good too. Now for the final color, the yellow. I might should have done just one pass with that. We'll have to see whenever I cut these bars. All right, let me shimmy this a little bit, make sure everything's where it's supposed to be. And then I'm going to take my hanger swirl tool and I'm gonna go down in the middle and kind of go around, make sure I'm hitting those corners. And about 8 times, I would say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe it's more like 6 or 7. I don't know. Kind of hard to judge. A good thing about doing a hanger swirl at this consistency is that the batter tends to not make any air bubbles because it's still runny enough. If you're doing it on a thicker batch, you really need to make sure that you tap down your molds really well because there's a good chance that air bubble pockets will be stuck in there. As it is, I can just tap these down on my table and I feel pretty good about it. Just gonna clean up those edges. Alrighty. And we will go ahead and mix up our soap frosting to put on top. All right, let's go ahead and start our soap frosting. So I have a 2-tone frosting. It's in 2 different types of green. There's a light green and a dark green. And of course, it will be a lot prettier tomorrow. 2-tone frosting is literally double the amount of work, but it looks so good and it's so effective in a tall soap. I was very picky with the embeds and the glitter choice for this bar because I really could have done 1,000 different things. I mean, it's Fairies, it's a flower shop, like there's so many embeds, but I really did just want to stick with just the flowers. And we even added a real flower on top. All right, I see these are leaning, so I'm turning it to the side. And then I'm just gonna put the teeny tiniest amount right here. I don't need that much because I do have a really big embed going on the top, so we wanna make it relatively flat looking. So the top dollop is the one that represents the middle, not the sides. I'm gonna have just enough. Perfect. All right, spin them back around and we can start putting our embeds on top. First up, the Globe Amaranth flowers. Look how cute. This is a fan favorite addition to the tops of our soaps. We have used these many times. I had a soap called Forage that I put them on and people went crazy for that. It was very cottagecore inspired. And the ones that have leaves on them, even better, because that looks even prettier. There are lots of people that sell smudge sticks and incense at Scarborough Fair. That was actually my first introduction to fragrance oils, was at a Renaissance fair, because you could put them in a little vial and hang them around your neck, and I saved up so much money so that the next year I could go and buy a little glass vial with a little cork top and a fairy charm. I was a little bitty kid. I must have been in 3rd grade when I did that. It was a sign. Everyone should have known. We are going to be doing a Royalty Soaps little photo shoot at Scarborough Fair this year, and to prep for that, we all got costumes from Holy Clothing. I'm not an affiliate of them, but I think they do have like a shareable code. They have the best, most beautiful costumes I have ever seen, and they're very size inclusive. We have lots of different shapes and sizes in our family. My sister Emmy is 5'2" and a very petite build, and my sister Shelly, I believe, is 5'8", and she's an extremely muscular build. Shelly can, oh my gosh, like she has beaten me in every competition we've ever had. She's extremely athletic, very gifted in dance, and she has just recently started to do trapeze, which is super cool and honestly to me looks absolutely terrifying. And she is so good right off the bat. So as you can see, lots and lots of different shapes and sizes in our family. So it was really great to find a one-stop shop. And speaking of Shelly, y'all, she has given me so many embeds. I mean, so many. I probably have 8 different colors to choose from. Actually, before I put embeds on, let's add the glitter. So this is a mix of 2 different glitters from the Good Glitter. It is a 50% blend of Gwen's Garden and Aunt Daisy. So a little bit of gold, a little bit of yellow, some blue, some pink. We have some opal stardust in there. It's just a gorgeous blend. And I believe all of these glitter blends are based on family members for the owner of the Good Glitter, which is super cool. And I felt very fitting for this soap inspired by my family members. All right, get the rest of that on there. Did I miss anybody? These guys are looking a little sparse down here. And I just cannot express to you how much better this is going to look tomorrow when that green is more fun and vibrant. All right, glitter on. We can finally start to add our soapy flowers. Here are 2 examples. Pretty, right? Very intricate. I'm just gonna start on this side and I'm gonna put 1 flower on each side. We also have different types of flowers to make it more authentic. Little blue flowers here. Oh, it's so cute. Man, this is going to take a long time. It is such a labor of love. Okay, that one is done. I'm gonna bring you guys in after I finish this next row because it's taking forever. Prepare for movie magic. Ta-da! So this is what it looks like in the mold. I am so excited. I cannot wait to put the stamp on it tomorrow and see what the swirl looks like on the inside. We'll be back in 18 to 24 hours to split all of these loaves up, cut them into bars, and see what it looks like after this quick commercial break. Y'all, look at this the next day. Also, peep the nails. So I made these. This is my first set, so please go easy on me, but I've never worn nails this long. I just thought it would be fun to try and make some to kind of match the theme. So yeah, these little fingers right here, let's see, there we go. They're inspired by this one. Very flower shoppy. Normally I get my press-on nails from MSK Nails, but I did not reach out to her fast enough, and so I had to make my own. Now check this out. This was like not this color yesterday. Now admittedly the batch is really sticky. I don't really know why. I don't know if I didn't blend long enough or what, but those sides did not come out cleanly. Okay, let's be very gentle. Turn it on its side. Okay, all right. Gonna line this up. Okay, looks like placement was pretty good this time. Press down gently. And let's see what our inside looks like. Oh my gosh, it's so intricate and gorgeous. And look at the top. Oh, it's so cute. This may be my favorite one of the month, because it smells really good. It is beautiful on the inside. Wow, look at that. That is so pretty. The smell is absolutely my favorite. Look at that. Ugh, here's all the tops up close. Okay, question of the day. Which character design is your favorite? Flora or fauna? Like, I could never pick. They're both so cute. I just love the glasses though. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and love the Flower Shop soap. Obviously, this one is my favorite because it is heavily inspired by the outfit that I have on now, and Flora and Fauna are just the most darling characters. Be sure to tune in next week when we will reveal the next chapter and the next set of characters and the next soap design. Psst, also, just a little secret, if you want to meet me in real life, I will be at the Scarborough Renaissance Fair in Waxahachie, Texas with my sisters and mother and Lily, and we will look a lot like this. So look for the fairy with wings, and maybe I can meet a couple of you guys on Saturday. I hope you all have an absolutely magical day. Be sure you do something fun for yourself today, like maybe finding a local Ren fair in your area or listening to your favorite book on Audible. I don't really care what you do, just be sure you do something for you, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Meow.